glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And what we're going to be getting into with this Shabbat lesson is the fact that at some point you're going to have to put all your faith in the Most High, because we still in these fleshly bodies and get carnal thoughts about things, have mortal moments. But whatever comes your way, you got to know that it's ultimately for the Most High to better you, whether it's obstacles, dealing with the job, your woman, your money, financial issues, anything in life. Just know that if your true intentions or the will of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shan, you're doing the best you can. The Most High is just not going to fuck you over and roll you out in this world. Like, you just gotta Jake just gotta get to the point to where he needs to stop leaning on his own understanding and his own weaknesses and fears about things and look at the bigger picture of things. You got to start thinking outside of the box and thinking, okay, that I'm going through, there's obviously a bigger will for the Most High for me to strengthen me up. Am I gonna do what I can to continue in the truth and deal with the real work, or am I gonna put the truth to the side and just fulfill what I think I can control, little situations I can control? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you ultimately keep leaning on that, hey, you know what? You're going to get spewed out and be a part of this destruction with these other Jakes out here, which to the sincere Akim and Akwat out there that have made it this far, we might as well just go the rest of the way and not get weak at the finish line. But we'll start it off with that Joshua 24, verse 15.
Okay, this is Joshua 24, verse 15. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose ye this day whom ye will serve, rather the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
And we can clearly see that the MOTB is right around the corner. World War III, nuclear destruction, the collapse of the financial system, everything we've been prophesying is right around the corner. So we're getting to the point to where there's no more fence sitting or getting weak out here. You got to fully put your faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Choose this day whom ye will serve. Am I going to serve my own thoughts and issues that I may have, or am I going to put my faith completely in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai? Is me and my house going to serve the Lord? Because again, we're constantly going through stuff, situations, with the job, with the woman, with children, with your daily life and stuff like that. And it may be getting to the point to where you have to come to a decision to where I may have to completely if I am truly about my Father's business, I may have to completely cut some things off. But you got to have the strength and the faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai to do so, to be able to know that it's ultimately working towards a bigger goal of you making it, your salvation. You got to, Kaya.
Yeah, you gotta have a AWOL mentality, man. And if anybody know about going AWOL, you gotta have an AWOL mentality for the Lord. When you go AWOL, it's to you basically just cut out any disciplinaries or anything you had for the world, and you just go towards that. What you doing, man? All right, you cut off anything that was you had a hold of in the world, man, to go and serve the Lord, man. All right, when you go AWOL, you don't look back either. Okay, because once you go AWOL, what you do, you break and fracture that which you had, or the trust that you once had in the world, then you tie it to the Lord, man. You see? Go ahead, brother.
I got a precept too for what you were saying, Riot.
If I could just say real quick, just to back up what Kaya was saying about being AWOL, you really just got to have a fuck it attitude at the end of the day. Like, look, if I'm truly about gaining as much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as I can, and staying in the truth and prophesying this word. These other issues you have in the world, you just got to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Be as as cordial about it as you can. If it's involving other people, and just be like, look, things come up and I can't deal with this. I'm gonna find another way to do it. But because in the back of your mind, I got to deal with the real work, the true work. The only purpose we're on this camera right now to preach the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Everything else is minute, no matter how big it may seem in these carnal mortal bodies with these minds of men that we have. But you got it, Yakina.
Yeah, this is you got it. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way. All right. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, into our power, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways your ways, said the Lord.
Hey,
got it.
Beautiful precept. And when we were all in the world, we were wicked and unrighteous. But hey, we heard this glorious truth, and we've come back to it. And what's it say? Now forsake those ways you lived in the world. We gotta put all our chips in one basket, and that basket is the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Because
I got
on the
one more line too.
I
got one more line.
Real quick, because on a carnal note, just to let's say with finances, you got these experts talking about, oh, you got to build up your portfolio. You got to put a little bit of your assets in gold and silver. You got to put a little bit in crypto and stuff like that. When it comes to this truth, all your assets and your goals should be towards Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And as I said, for my ways are not your ways, or my thoughts are not your thoughts.
One.
Oh, Khan.
The next one to be exact, it says, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Hey, we're dealing with the power that, as it says in Job chapter 33, seals our instructions the night before for the next day to come. Everything we're doing right now has already been, we're just going through the motions of what's been pre-orchestrated by the Most High, just showing how much he's in control of everything. So when things come your way, you got to look at the bigger picture, Jake. You got to look outside the box and see what I'm going through. You may go through a week where everything just doesn't go your way. Every possible thing that can go wrong does go wrong. You got to look at the bigger picture and be like, what is the Most High trying to show me? What is this doing to build me? Oh, Slack, yeah.
I want to say this too, because conversation I just had with Raya is kind of a conversation I had with the brother Kaya earlier today, and it's like when you look at your so-called problems, a lot of jigs really don't have problems. They think they got some badass problems and it's got this war of me spirit, like something really going on. And like this old saying, this dude was breaking down. I seen the dude breaking some shit down, had me in my mind blown. Say, man, if you was to take a lot of people around you or people from the world that have problems, and you threw all y'all shit on the ground, and you asked those people to pick up your problems, guess what? Your shit would be gone, because your problems ain't really that big as the next person. You really don't have that, have those big of a problems, man. That's why somebody will pick your problems up in a minute, because it ain't that serious as you think it is, man. And people out here got some real world problems, man. Brothers in this truth got some real problems. All right. I mean, real, which we all going through different things, man. But you gotta find a way and know there's what it is. There's a light on the other side of the tunnel, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look at the. Oh.
And that shit just for a moment. That shit is just for a moment too, man. It ain't forever. Whatever we going through, I was taught by the apostles back then that you always got to think of it as why the Most High is doing this, and also he'd be doing it to purge you of some different characteristics that you might have. Something that's going on with you is why it's happening, for a bigger purpose, for a bigger reason, man. A lot of jakes look at the now. It's about the long run. And guess what? When the long run does come to you, you know, you'll see why the Lord did it. Man, I see why the Lord made me go through that shit. To make you bigger, the stronger. It's a part of the process, man. The process of making gold is a long, strenuous process. All right, to get that fine looking gold that you see is all shining. It goes through a rigorous process, though, man. Same thing with us. We're considered like gold to the Most High. And guess what? We're gonna get tested. We're gonna be on trial. All right. It ain't nothing. But go ahead. I ain't want to keep going. Go ahead.
If I could just say, I know you got a precept, Kaya. If I could just say real quick, hey, just to back up what the elder brother was saying, you got to look at we got to stop getting out of the point to where we looking at things just in the now. And of course, it says in the scriptures, you know, hey, just pretty much playing for the day as the day comes along, roughly paraphrasing. But that doesn't just mean you just living like an animal out here, just concerned with the day for the day's sake, and don't have any kind of mentality about what's to come for the future, as it says in Proverbs that a man of wisdom is a visionary. We see the end goal of things, and we know that to get there are things that need to be done. There are characteristics that need to be purged out of us, and we need to sacrifice damn near everything on this side, you know, to make it into the kingdom. And you got to look at the bigger picture, that the things that the Most High is taken away from you now, or the trials and tribulations you're going through now, isn't just because the Most High wants to fuck you over. It's because he's building up your spirit, building up your strength for the times of Jacob's trouble we're coming into, so you can endure. And it reminds me of the movie Pulp Fiction. You had Bruce Willis's character, who was a boxer, and then you had Ving Rhames' character, who told him, look, I'm gonna pay you for pretty much to take care of the rest of your life if you throw this fight. And a year from now, you're gonna be saying, when you're on the island, you're with your woman and you're drinking all these margaritas, you're gonna be saying, you know what, Marcellus Wallace was right. But Bruce Willis, with his pride, didn't want to, you know, throw the fight. So he ended up killing the other boxer and got into a whole situation where people got killed. The situation was just worse off for him, unless he would have just, you know, followed after the pre-prescribed plans. That it would have hurt his pride for a moment, as a lot of the things we go through now, hey, it hurts our pride as men that we have to take the low. But what? We're working towards that bigger W. This is salvation, being of that elect number.
Yeah, that's why the scripture saying Lamentation is better that a man better yoke in his youth, man. Meaning what? To carry any burdens we got. And we're in our youth because we have the truth, man. All right. Youth is a representation of your strength. It ain't a representation of how young you are. All right. And really, the Lord had promised us in the scriptures that he's not going to really give us any burdens that we can't really carry, man. We got to always recall in mind that the Lord has premeditated our thoughts. He has already beforehand written our thoughts down. So the things that we do think about that be burdens upon us, or we feel as if they are burdens, we got to remember that's what the Lord had already stored for us, man. All right. So our way towards it should be really embracing it in grace. That when you really think about it, because anything you walk into or go into, you're going to have to carry it anyways. It's not like it's a way around it. It's not like it's something you could do to alter it. Okay, so whatever we are afflicted with, the same afflictions are accomplishing your brethren that's in the world. So, hey, you're going to have to learn to carry things. But this Proverbs 16 and 2 and 3, I'm going to read them in the NLT too, Rod, you got it. It says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weighed the spirits. It's the NLT. People may be pure in their own eyes, but the Lord examined their motives.
Hey,
go ahead.
If I could just say, and everybody, you know, we're again, because we're in these mortal bodies with these mortal minds, the situations, how when we try to go out of the Most High to handle situations, what happens more often than not? We get in a much worse case than if we would have just, you know, stepped back and take breath and be like, look, I'm not going to get hasty. I'm going to just let the Most High deal with it. Because, of course, when you get in those moments, you start thinking with your own, you start leaning onto your own understanding, thinking, oh, this is the right way to do it, so I'm gonna just handle it. But as it says in Jeremiah 17, the heart is deceitful above all things. That heart going into your mind, who can know it? When you start leaning under your own understanding, that's when you start getting in a bad case and just worse situations out here, instead of just looking at things from a spiritual mindset and looking at the bigger picture. Why is the Most High having me go through this? What do I need to purge? What do I need to do to get better, to better serve him, and to better lead towards my salvation?
Yeah, we got to remember what we working in and who we working for. We'll have the tendencies from time to time to think that we'll get into ourselves and forget the purpose, the overall purpose, man, of things, man. I believe I mentioned to the brothers around Passover that our purpose is greater than our potential. The thing we feel we could get to the top set, we still got to remember it's still about reaching the point of salvation. So no matter how far you go in your potential, if you never reach your purpose, it was what? It was all for naught, man. You see? They got people that was as great as Allen Iverson that crossed, arguably what Jake would call one of the greatest men to play basketball, Michael Jordan. But Allen Iverson never won nothing. You had the battle rapper Murder Mook say, everybody just remember when Allen Iverson crossed Jordan in that game, but he said everybody forgot that Jordan scored 45 and that Jordan them still won that game. You see? But people remember what happened with that. But he had great potential, but Jordan still won the game, man. And he had 45 points. Okay, but nonetheless, this is our three. Proverbs 16:3, it says, commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thoughts shall be established. It says, commit your actions to Yahweh, and your plans will succeed. You got it, bro.
A point blank period. It speaks for itself. Jake, hey, to you, Aki Mainakwat out there, just you got to learn to start taking a step back and just taking a deep breath and just analyzing the situation from a spiritual eye, especially in the times we're in now, because these demons are ramping up. These spirits are out here just because the devil know he got a short time, so he's about to come down in great wrath, and that spiritual demon Satan is coming down in great wrath as well, to sift heavily. So we got to be examining everything, even our own thoughts. It's coming to the point to where the only thing we're going to be able to trust is the scriptures and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Not the news we read is going to be a lot of deception. That just everything out here is going to be a deception, except your understanding and faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And when you get into a situation thinking, look, this is what I want to do, but wait, this is what I want to do in my weak mind. What does it say in the scriptures to do? How should I approach this from a spiritual mindset? And as the brother Kaya brought out in that last part of the precept, hey, the Most High is going to establish and accomplish your ways. You're going to stay on the path and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, it got to be a point to where you plateau your thoughts and allow your faith to abridge the rest. See, we forget that too, that our thoughts can only go so far, and that our faith got to sink in, man. Because wherever our thoughts stop, that's where our faith take off and abridge the rest of the way to the Father, the Heavenly Father, man. We got to remember that as well, man. Okay, so even as we want to think of things, how we want to think of it, the way we want to think of it, we got to have a cutoff point with our thoughts, man, and allow the Lord to execute what he needs to execute in us, man. Okay, go ahead, bro. You got it.
Okay. Did you have
your precept?
You got
a quick one.
Did you have something too, Amawad? Khan, well, you go first, Samakia, then you got yours, Kushab, and then we'll get yours, Amawad.
Okay, Khan, this second address 14:14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
Hey, it speaks for itself. Put off thee the mortal thoughts and cast off the weak nature, because any thoughts that are outside of the knowledge in the scriptures, it's a weak thought, because we're weak and feeble creatures. What does it say in the scriptures? Jacob, thy worm. We're just worms, and the only thing that's keeping us going is the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in us, and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures. It's as simple as that. Anything else outside of that is weak, is vanity, and is foolishness. Because I can speak for myself. When in the past times, when I've gotten into a situation to where I got antsy, I got hasty to do something, you know what happened? I got chastised for it. I got my ass whipped in the spirit for it because I didn't lean under Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in the scriptures for it. And as the brother again brought out in that Proverbs 16, hey, a man's ways is, right in his own eyes, so to speak. So you think, oh, I'm not breaking any laws or I'm not doing anything wrong. So you know what? I'm gonna just handle it this way. And then what? You get into that situation, and you get beat up spiritually by it, and then in a lot of cases, at least with me, I see that if I would have just had patience in the situation, it worked itself out. If I would have just applied what I knew in the scriptures, you know what, the situation worked itself out. You know what, I wouldn't have got my ass beat spiritually, so to speak.
Establish your thoughts. Yeah, establish your thoughts. If you commit your works in them, you got it, bro.
You got your precept, Kushab.
I had the exact same one Samaki just brought up.
Yeah, me too.
Well, somebody can hold for me Proverbs 3 verse 11, but you got your precept on the wide.
Gotcha. Whoever get that Proverbs 3, you got to read verse 5 too. That go right along with what the brother was saying. But yeah, this Romans, I wanted to touch on what you said earlier about all of the things that happen to us, the Most High prescribed, and it's ultimately for our good and our refinement. This Romans chapter 8, verse 27, 20 and 28, it says, and he searcheth the hearts, he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of the Most High. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are called according to his purpose.
You got it,
Yeah, so all things work to the good, even things that we perceive as being bad, because we're in the flesh, we're mortal, we have our own wants, our own desires, we have our own so-called plans of this is how this should go, I think this should go this way. The Most High, he called us according to his purpose, and all things work to the good of that. So you have to keep that in mind. Even when things don't go according to your plan, they're still going according to the Lord's plan. You got it?
And things just to back you up, things you may be sufficient in the world, the vices you have or things that you like to do, the Most High will give it to you in a lot of instances, and then what? It's just going to roll you through and wear you out. Why? To build up your understanding of it and how to deal with it accordingly, and to see, look, this is a what was it? I keep roughly paraphrasing things, but it's like, hey, try things to see if they're against your spirit. If a brother remember what precept that is like not all things are.
See what is needful for thee.
And
give that unto it.
The Most High put you in situations with things you enjoy, supposedly like, just to show you, look, this is something you can't handle on this side. Like in the kingdom, when everything's in its perfection, you got it. But on this side, I put you through this situation to show you just don't got it. And look, you need to just focus on me and stop leaning on that flesh, on the things you enjoy.
I got it.
Okay.
It's Sirach chapter 37, verse 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Hey, and this can go into anything. I just put it like this. This is an umbrella that covers anything that's hampering your ability in the truth. Like, you may think you got it, but if it's diminishing your ability in the truth, to do the work, to retain the knowledge and study, or even to be around the Akim, clearly that's something that's evil for your spirit. And there's got to be a point to where you're going to have to make a decision. Am I really about my Father's business? Is the truth really my first concern? Or is this thing that's bothering me, Am I going to give into it? And if you give into it, what's that ultimately going to lead to you? You getting taken out of the truth and getting destroyed. And that should be that should be the greatest motivator, really the only motivator in itself. If you're truly sincere about the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Did you want to say something, Yakina?
Yeah, I ran into some heat, man.
Oh, kind of.
Hold up.
Well, after you get your precept, whichever brother wants to get it, Proverbs chapter 3, you can read verse 5 and then jump to verse 11.
And I got it.
But yeah, again, the times we're coming into, like, we can still, go to bed and get what, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. You can still turn on the TV, get on the internet, get on the phone, go get food at the store. But there's going to come a time where some very hard decisions are going to be made, to where these things are going to be taken away from us, and we're going to be public enemy number one in society. So the only thing that's going to be able to sustain you is the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And if you're not taking this time now to build up your spirit and put your faith in the Most High when things are easy, when things are hard, what? You're going to fold like a house of cards. So
man.
And as you always bring up, Yakina, hey, I'd rather go through this fire and this chastening now, to build up my spirit, than what? That physical fire, that ultimately those nukes, and then just all these other calamities of Jacob's trouble, which, if you haven't been building up your spirit and your faith in the Most High right now during practice while things are easy, when the game comes, you're gonna buckle, you're gonna fold, you're gonna break under the pressure, you're gonna choke.
I found a good one about the thoughts and the hearts of man and the Most High, and this is what he says. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "Love righteousness, ye that be judge of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For forward thoughts separate from the Most High, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. For unto a malicious soul wisdom should not enter, neither dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from the thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving soul, a loving spirit, and will not inquire a blasphemer, acquitted a blasphemer of the words. For the Most High is witness of his reigns, and a true beholder of the heart, and a hearer of his tongue. For the spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things has knowledge of the voice." You got it out.
God, there's a lot of meat in there. As it said in verse 1, love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. And that's what we already judges right now, because we're out here prophesying and telling our people what the right and the wrong is. But hey, we're building up to be those ultimate judges of the earth, where we're going to be completely sovereign over everything, and our word is going to be bond in the way things go. And in order to be a good judge, look, you gotta have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and work according to that. Work according to the will of the Most High, and not the will of your own belly. Think of the Lord with a good heart or mind, and in simplicity of heart seek him. What do Yahweh Shai say? My yoke is light. And of course, we go through our trials and tribulations, but when you look at it, all we simply got to do is be faithful to the Most High and follow his ways to the best of our abilities, and trust in anything that he puts our way, because we ultimately know that it's for our betterment. We don't get hasty and upset and flustered when a situation doesn't perceive to go our way, because ultimately it's through the Most High to, to build you up or break you down, depending on which choice you choose. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and sheweth himself unto such that do not distrust him. And the Most High is going to sup with you. If again you don't lean under your own understanding, but lean under his understanding, you're not being rebellious out here. You're not constantly going to your own opinions first before thinking, oh, what does the Most High want me to do? What is the bigger picture to the situation that I'm in? For forward thoughts separate from the Most High, and his power when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. When you try to go out of the Most High's program, what? You get your ass kicked. You find yourself in a much worse situation than if you would have just took a step back and really analyze things with a spiritual eye and be like, okay, what's the bigger picture of why the Most High is doing this to me? Something that I may really care about. Why is he taking it away from me? Why is something that I'm trying to hold on to? It's like trying to hold on to a scorpion. It's like biting me, it's stinging me, and it's hurting me more to hold on to it than to let it go. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. The Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit. If you're a disciple of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, you're disciplined in his ways. And you know that by going out of those ways, what? Again, you're just going to end up in a much worse case than if you would have just actually looked at things not from your own carnal mindset, but looked at things from a spiritual mindset and just took the chastening of the Most High cheerfully, knowing that it's ultimately working for your betterment and not for you to just be completely destroyed out here, which you will be completely destroyed if you just keep losing every battle that you come against. Because we know it says a righteous man falleth 7 times and getteth back up. But what? He's constantly fighting. He's not constantly giving in to any temptation that comes his way. You got to really analyze yourself. If these different issues you have keep coming up in your life and you keep failing those trials, you never get past them. That's a major problem. That's a detrimental, deadly problem.
I got one too.
Quick
one. This is 2 Corinthians 11:2. I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin unto Mashiach. Now, I brought that out because, all right, you dealing with a power, and it's very known that the Most High, he's a jealous power. So, in order for him to display jealousy, that means you're putting your time, your energy into something more than him. So, what he does, he gets your focus back on him. Instead of whatever else you're putting a lot of time into. And then, like I said, we put time in. We got to, I very well know this myself. Brothers out here have different other hobbies, different other things that they do in their spare time. But it's not to the point where it's having you off, right? Having you off in the spirit, having you it has you stumbling in the spirit too, man. We have been accustomed over time to knowing how to balance. It's a great thing to have balance in this truth, man. Balance, longevity. There's many other things that you got to inquire and try to pertain in this truth, man. You got to try to have obtain in this truth. You got to try to have balance, and learn how to balance your personal life in this truth, And they should never kind of really collide with each other, man. Okay.
Kind of just to back you up.
Okay. Yeah, all those things that make the Lord jealous, putting your time into, worldly shit. But go ahead, you got it up.
And was to say that we have been espoused to the Most High as a chaste virgin, and when a woman cheats on her husband, what is that? Adultery. And what's the penalty for committing adultery? You get put to death. So if you're committing spiritual adultery, putting anything else out here as more of a focus than the Most High, what should that tell you? You're going to get put to death. And we see plenty of examples out here, and have seen plenty of examples of people that, they put things over the Most High, and where they at now? They bugged out and back in the world, just waiting for that ultimate judgment.
Hey, that was in the, he said it. He said those very same words. I got it right here. He said those very same words back in Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy 6:15, it says this: "For the Lord thy power is a jealous power amongst you. Lest the anger of the Lord thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth," man.
Hey, it speaks for itself. The Most High being a jealous power, and that anger getting kindled against you, and you think the Most High, you think when you go through trials and tribulations that the Most High is wrong you out. You just completely put something over the Most High. He gonna truly show you how he can roll you out and just make you destitute out here, destroyed and bugged out. Like, again, we see as we come into the end that Jake, in whatever form it may take in your life, Jake gonna have to put his foot down and man up. You're gonna have to man up and be a man of the Lord. You're gonna have to just put your foot down and deal with the situation accordingly and not care about the consequences of it. If it's a detriment to you following after Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shine this truth, you got to put all your chips in the basket of the Most High, because the Most High will find a way for you to get out of it. And I can speak in my personal life. There's some situations where it was looking real bad for me, but you know what? I just put my faith in the Most High, and I was able to get through it, and just saw how much of a great work the Most High made in getting me through a situation that seemed pretty dark and dire. Like, it all just comes down to having faith in the Most High. Like, it's not just all about saying, "Oh, I believe in the Most High." You got to truly believe in the Most High and his power, that he's in control of everything, and stop leaning under your own understanding.
Right. Worrying about the what ifs. What if I do this? This might. Hey, man, just go through the shit, man. All right. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember this particular saying that the brother Tazawan from Atlanta always say. You know, and very time you listen to the brother, he may say this particular thing. I'm trying to remember. I think I might have given my phone, because I remember noting it down or whatever. It's a particular thing that the brother, a saying that the brother always say, going and pertaining to that though. But go ahead, I might have to try to look for it.
I know you know that precept, Kaya, the one where it says a man's mind is like 7 watchmen.
Yeah, it's in Sirach 14, and you want to tell him more than 1,000 things. I'll get it for you.
Kind. Because, hey, as the elder brother was saying, when you start dwelling on the what ifs, you're gonna go fucking insane. Because, you know, your mind, when it's something like you are really dwelling on, your mind can take you to some wild scenarios that have no chance of happening. But you can bring it out. But your mind, if you start leaning under your own understanding in situations that you have no control over, and that especially if it's a detriment to your walk in this truth, you're gonna bug yourself out just thinking about the what ifs, and you're gonna put all your energy into that, trying to keep it from falling apart. But at the end of the day, what happens more often than not? It falls apart, and those things you tried to avoid are the exact things that happen. So at the end of the day, what you should be concerned with? Hey, that situation can take care of itself, and I'm gonna do my best to deal with it. But ultimately, I'm gonna put all my faith in the Most High and just keep staying upon my watch, getting myself right, so I don't get thrown out. Like that's saying the baby with the bathwater.
This is not it, but this is another good one that I had in my phone. This is not the one that the brother say, but it's this one right here. It says, anything you cannot control is for the teaching of you how to let go.
Hey, and that's a problem with a lot of Jakes out here. They want to control a situation that is uncontrollable. And when you're trying to control something that's uncontrollable, that's not going to go well for you, because you're going to put all your energy into a futile effort, and you end up getting destroyed in that effort.
It's just like accepting the things you can't change. It's like the serenity rule. Like, You got to learn to accept the things you can't change. That's just the opposite of what the elder did. That's it. It's just like the reverse side. You know, Jake tried to alter the thing which is unchangeable, man. Which our thoughts are like that. If our thoughts be settled and fixed and established on the Lord, we tell you in Ecclesiastes, when you try to go outside of your thoughts, outside of because your thoughts really had you in. The minute you go outside of your thoughts, a serpent gonna bite you, man. And that we know what the serpent is, man. What? Something gonna get you, man. One of a wicked, because all it takes is a split minute, a second, and a thought for you to do a little bit outside of what you thought, and then you're gonna go wrong. I think it was the brother Kalai yesterday. I was telling him on the test or whatever. I was like, he had some scratches in a lot of the answers, but I was like, for the most part, it was your first one. And he was like, yeah, it was the first one out. That was the right one, like, you know, but he was going against his better judgment, and he was what? Getting them wrong, man. But the first one was the right one for the most part. Now, at times you got to, of course, your first thought would not, the initial thought would be the right thought. But for the first one, most likely, if you're thinking in the Lord and doing which the Lord doing it, thinking the way the Lord say think, then that's probably the answer, man. You know, for the most part.
I got this other one. I got this other one by Marcus Aurelius. He quoted, he says, the wise man accepts his pain, endure it, but does not add to it.
Hey, that goes into that philosophy of Stoicism, which involves a pretty much what that quote that Marcus Aurelius made was, if we go through our pains and our trials and afflictions, but we don't add unto it. We don't let it hold us back. We don't let it destroy us, but we keep pushing forward. And we can apply that to the truth. The things that we can't control, hey, we deal with that situation accordingly, and it's gonna do what it's gonna do. But what we can control, hey, as long as the Most High allows us to, is to what? Continue to be brotherly, continue to do the work, continue to stay faithful to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, I believe this is the one that the brother Tazawam always say over a length of time and in his different testimonies and talking. The brother from Atlanta, I believe this is the one he say. It says, "Stop being afraid of what could go wrong, and start to be excited about what can go right."
Hey, that you got that precept, Kaya?
Yeah, I got it.
Kind bring it out.
This is Rock 37:14. It says, for a man's mind is sometime want to tell him, matter. I'm gonna read one up about it. You know, I like these here. It says, and let the counsel of thine own heart stand, which we know who our counsel is, which we have, but there's but many counselors, but there's only one with us. We know it's the counsel of what? What is the scripture? I don't know why you may know where it says there's a 1,000 counselors. But we have the counselors of one or something like that. I think that's in Sirach too, or whatever. But we only have one counselor. All right. We know how to counsel our heart. It says, let the counsel of thine own heart stand. For there is no man more faithful unto thee than it.
Okay, you can.
Yeah. So, and to be faithful in mind is to be counseled on the things that the Lord have established for us to counsel on. All right. It says, blessed is the man whose mind has not condemned him, because obviously our mind counsel upon many things. Our mind ponders on many things. But really, we have a world of things to think about, which is according to the mind and the heart of the Lord, which is the scriptures. If you ponder on the scriptures, you can't do nothing wrong. That's facts, man. If you ponder, then execute your thoughts of what you're pondering about with scripturally things, you're not going to go wrong. That's a fact. Okay. It says, you got it, Amawai?
Got it.
Go ahead.
It's Sirach chapter 6. It's verse 6. I'm going to read verse 2 first. It says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, lean not on your own understanding, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
Hey.
You know, the symbol is, oh, you got it.
Oh, you make your point.
Yeah, the symbolism of a bull just wandering off, doing its own thing, not
Wandering
doing
out,
the role of a bull. Yeah, wandering.
running wild.
Yeah,
What they say, like Jake's wild bulls running in the streets?
yeah.
Because they letting the council their own heart stand. Whatever come in them niggas' mind, them niggas scaling walls, committing the eyes, having eyes full of adults. Them niggas all over the place, man. A bull, when you let a bull go in a bull ring, I'm talking about he'll run over his own babies. He'll run over his own mama. He'll attack anything. Like anything in the bull's eye, he'll run into, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kabal.
I'm gonna say, yeah, that's what Jake do now. Like what Jake, hey, they kill themselves by using drugs, alcohol.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Also, they just, you know what I'm saying, just kill themselves. That's it, man. Just make
He'll run into something that get his horns locked. He don't care. A bull or run into something that'll lock his horns up and he can't run no more. He don't care where he run to, man. Go ahead, you want to make a point, Amawad?
And if I could say real quick with the bull, what a bull is easily manipulated. When you see those matadors, what do? They hold up that red sheet, and that inflames the bull. Like the bull just loses all sight of everything and charges, and they're in control of it. And we know that red, that's the color of passions. What your passions, your thoughts, those are controlling you, being in control of you and moving you any which so way it does. You being consoled in your own thoughts, in your own judgment, which it leads you to getting put down, like them bulls when they follow the red thing, and then the matador moves out of the way and hits them with that sword.
Yeah, when you put that red sheet up, he run to the red sheet. There's no telling what lies behind it. It could be 150-foot cliff. It could be a like you said, a brick wall that's gonna kill him. It's just he don't care the aftermath. All he see red. They got a terminology of he just saw red. Once he seen red, that was it. Okay, he just went berserk. He just don't remember nothing else. He just said, "Oh, I just saw red," and just went out of his wits. But it says 14. It's 14. You got the one you wanted. My.
I think Amawad. You had.
Amawad. Yeah.
Yeah, and 2/3 of our people they chase the red too, man. They follow Esau. They blinded by red, easily manipulated. But this verse 6, it says, "Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000."
And who's that one counselor? The Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and the ways of this knowledge counseling you, and you'll fare never the better.
Never the worse.
You'll fare never the worse.
That's right.
You won't let that red sheet, that woman in the red dress, like in the Matrix, pull you aside, and you'll stay on that path and keep pushing forward. Hey, as a brother, and as we're gonna go into with that precept, Kaya, that quote that the elder brother Yakana brought out. Hey, don't focus on the things which you can't control, but if you could bring it out again.
Okay.
It's like don't worry about the things that can go wrong, but worry about the things that can go right. And what can ultimately go right for us if we stay in the path? Salvation, being of that elect number, receiving that crown, being the judges of the earth, ruling over the nations. That can go right. And that is something that, as long as the Most High allows us to continue to do it, that is something we can control. Again, doing the work, studying, following after the ways of the Most High to the best of our abilities, being brotherly. That's that light yoke that Yahweh Shah is talking about, compared to everything else in the world, which is just, this whole world's about to be destroyed anyway. The ways of this world are about to be destroyed. So you trying to hold on to something. You're trying to hold on to something that's going to become ash. And do you want to become ash with it? Hey, like the brother Kabar brings out, you're gonna what do you say, Ak? You're either gonna give it up or burn with it?
Die for the Lord. Yeah. Die, burn with it.
Right, you gonna lose, or you could be burnt up with it.
Yeah.
Point blank period. You're gonna lose it, but what? Gain it 100-fold, like Yahweh Shai said in Matthew chapter 19 to Peter. Gain everything 100-fold. When Peter asked, Lord, we followed you and forsook everything. What are we going to receive? And Yahushua said, everything that you forsoken, to follow me in the regeneration, you shall receive 100-fold. Lands, women, children, everything. Everything that you had to give up on this side, you're going to get it back. You're going to get it back, and you're going to get it back in its perfection. Hey, we aren't even bringing these Abaratazah, we're of that number. These bodies, like this flesh right here, this isn't even coming with us into the kingdom. So,
the Lord gave us a avenue in which we can think. The way that we can think, we can always think of a right thing. Like if we take our time to think, we can always think right. Now I know sin still lies in place because we're in fleshly bodies, but he gave us an avenue to always think the right thing. Like just think about it. Like the Lord, like I always gave y'all at least an avenue to never get congested with doing something wrong. Like y'all could think about the right thing if y'all take y'all time and think about it, man. And that's just thinking on the scriptures, having the scriptures. So really it's gonna be inexcusable in that day. But it says the Sirach 37:14, for a man's mind is sometime want to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower.
Hey, you're worrying about the things that can go wrong. When Jake starts putting something outside of the truth into his concern and trying to hold on to it, that's when those 7 watchmen, those many, which 7 means completion, those many different opinions and thoughts and scenarios start playing out in your head, and you just go and make the situation worse, trying to control it because you're thinking something that's going to happen that has no possibility of happening, and what you end up on your ass out here. You end up on your ass, just getting kicked in the ass by the Lord.
I got another, because like I said, this be my thing. I got them little quotes and stuff. I'll share them with you brothers too on the chat and at very different times. This is another one. It says starve your distractions and feed your focus, man.
Hey, starve your distractions, which anything, of course we've got our hobbies that we do out of the truth, but as the elder brother brought up earlier, when it starts taking more of your time than the truth is, that's a distraction. And you need to starve it. You need to purge it and feed your focus. Constantly, eating the spiritual bread and drinking the spiritual water of the truth, feeding that and building yourself up in it. And you'll realize that whatever situation comes your way, as long as you lean unto the Most High, you're going to find a way out of it. It may take you down. It may take you down the back roads. You may hit a bunch of roadblocks. But as long as you're sincere in your faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, you're gonna make it through it. And when you make it through on the other end, you're gonna look back on it and be like, I needed to go through that. Yeah, it was hell, but I'm stronger and I'm a better person for it. And that's ultimately what this whole process of purging these things is to make us better men of the Lord.
I got another one by this devil Henry Ford, but this devil was right though when he quoted this. He says this: when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it.
God. You
got it up. I just brought it up.
Read it again,
This is a quote from the devil, Henry Ford, and it says, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it.
Hey, you keep pushing forward through it. You don't get taken by that wind, so to speak. You don't give up. You don't give up. It's too much pressure for you, so you give up. But you keep going forward to what? To get to your destination.
Yeah, because what he's saying, when that plane goes off from the ground, it's going against wind. And it may seem like a difficult thing, but after a while, what happens with the plane in the wind? The wind helps the plane goes from destination to destination. It needs one another. The plane needs that resistance to actually lift itself up and to fly and to carry itself, man. Same thing with these problems that we so-called call problems, the things that occur in our life. We need it to actually to make a better us, to better ourselves, man. To learn, to have experience. All right. It teaches you temperament. It teaches you many things, man. All right. This is the part of the process of the truth. Now, that's why I always say, according to the church makes you think of prosperity. Everything's supposed to be good, roses and beautiful butterflies and turtle doves. But when you come to this truth, you're gonna go against things are gonna happen against you to try your mind, to try your spirit. All right, to get you laser focused. All right, on things to come, man. Because like I said, we got much more things to come that's gonna be worse than these little problems we call it, man. All right, Jacob's trouble. All right, that day of temptation of the MOBT, that's a decision in itself, boy. All right, and we know what needs to be done too when if that decision comes our way. All right, man. You talking about problems? That's problems, man.
A guillotine is a big problem when you got to look at that thing, and that light in the room hits that glistening metal, and it.
Yeah, a guillotine. A 6'4" German soldier was level 7 armor shit on me. That's a man. You talking about decisions?
Drone, just food shortages, famine, all that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
hey,
man.
What? Let me think. I lost my train of thought.
Hey, man, that's a decision in itself, man. You know, having sedition amongst men out here. You know, some raging crackhead, meth head. All right, all this goddamn mind. You know, there's a lot of shit you got to think about, man. That's coming. You know, way more than these little problems, man. This ain't shit, man. All right, you know, brothers got ailments and different things going on. They are really small to the bigger picture. All right, because man, that's all that we still got to have focus on the kingdom, man. The kingdom is coming. All right, Yahweh Shai is coming. All right.
Yeah, hey, and now I remember what I wanted to say. And hey, things getting taken away from you and making you uncomfortable, what hastens you wanting the kingdom to come? It doesn't make you complacent, because if we just doing the work and we just super fucking comfortable out here, we got our slippers on, we got a glass of warm milk, we can watch Netflix anytime we want, you know, so to speak. Then you're gonna get lax and start to get to that point to where you're like, man, maybe if I just have a few more months before all hell breaks loose, I can do this, that, and the other. That's not the spirit you want to be in. When you're uncomfortable, that makes you hate your life more in this society and hasten the kingdom more and put you more on focus to do the work.
Hey, it's funny that you said comfort, because I was talking to my brother earlier today, and I brought up a lesson that I named it. I gotta put the scriptures to it, but it's called comfort. It's the enemy of the process, man. If you comfortable and you complacent, you missing the whole process and the whole underlying focus of things, man. If you complacent and comfortable. All right, this place is to make us uncomfortable, man. All right, Babylon the Great was set up to make us uncomfortable, not comfortable, man. In this truth, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Certain things, certain decisions, certain things happening to you. The list goes on. You know, and you brothers on this thing definitely know that. Myself, I know that, man. But go ahead, Doc.
God. And hey, just a beautiful quote. I remember Apostle Gabar brought it out in a video a long time ago dealing with Stoicism. It was a quote kind of backing up the one you brought up by Henry Ford, where it was like, when you go out of your comfort zone, you widen your comfort zone. What does that mean? You get stronger. You go out of your comfort zone. You do things that you don't think you are capable of doing, and then what? That builds you up to where you can keep pushing forward and keep going forward.
And what's funny that you say that, because me and another brother talking about this. I see it, I definitely see it in this truth. I see it within GMS. You got a lot of brothers that got low self-esteem, man. You don't even believe in yourself. Here it is, man. You was chosen out of 7 billion, 8 billion people on the planet Earth to get this blessed truth, and yet you don't believe in yourself. Rich shows that you don't believe in the Most High, man. You question the Most High on things that are happening and being done to you in situations, man. You gotta get out of that. You gotta get out of that spirit, man. That weak, feeble, woe is me. I don't believe in myself spirit, man. That shit is bullshit, man. All right, that's a demon of doubt that's on you. That you gotta really exercise through prayer and fasting to get it off you, man. You just sometimes you see Jake just like a big Winnie the Pooh, man. You know how Winnie the Pooh was, huh? Eeyore and shit. Man.
Eeyore. Oh, I lost my tail. I'm just depressed and miserable all the time.
I don't know what's gonna. Yeah, you see that shit, man.
Hey, I'll say that that's funny that you bring up Winnie the Pooh. I had a family member that always say you acting like Eeyore who lost his fucking tail.
Yeah, man. You gotta listen. What my man, you listen to Joey. What name is Joey?
Joey Diaz.
You need to listen to some Joey Diaz, man, every morning, all through the day, man. All right.
Some Patrice O'Neal too.
Yeah, man. To wake your ass up, man. All right. You might need to get cussed out by my man Andrew Tate or some shit, man.
David Goggins.
Yeah, man.
He'll put a fire under your ass, telling you. I remember one thing he always said. There was one. It was. And he always running in his videos. He got the little Speedo shorts on. He got his shirt off. He's like, you know what? It's a new year. And you know what? You still that same fucking loser you were last year, not getting off your ass. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta like water. If water doesn't flow and keep moving forward is stagnant, you gotta be like a river. You gotta be like a river that's constantly pushing forward. And you know that river goes through many courses. It gets caught up in dams. The flow gets redirected, but what? It constantly stays pure, and it gets to the bigger body of water, so to speak, which can tie into that Second Ezra 7, that narrow path that leads to that wide hill, which is the kingdom, which only one man can go through at a time. And if he had not gone through that adversity, then he didn't have what it took or had the right to take up the goodly things in that wide path.
Yeah, we gotta be like Bruce Lee. That's how you know Bruce Lee was a Jake, man. He said you gotta become as water. Which he was saying, water actually mimics itself through all of the cracks and crevices of whatever it is poured upon, man. You gotta learn to adapt in this truth, man. Adapt to change, adapt to things that's happening. All right, you gotta have patience and learn to have let a lot of shit roll off your back, man. That's what in the truth and outside. You can't give your energy to every goddamn thing. All right, and you got to become as water. Water adapts. Water is an element that actually adapts to its surroundings and shit, man. Whatever is with, That's what that guy Bruce Lee was saying. All right.
Hey, he had another beautiful quote, which just goes to show he was a Jake. He said, "Pray not for an easy life, but the strength to endure a hard one."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very poignant thing to say. Because I mean, shit, if easy life just makes you fucking soft. Like you got to have some adversity to build you up to be able to take things that come your way. Unlike the majority of people, especially in Babylon, that's why everybody outside of the elect in this country is going to get destroyed because they're weak and given to their own passions and lusts and vanity.
Yeah, weak and feeble and a bunch of GMO babies, man. All right,
octo boosted and eating bug sandwiches.
Yeah,
but we can close it out. We can close it out in that Sirach chapter 2. We'll just go through it, for the sake of time, just verses 1 to 8. If somebody can give me that.
All right, I got you. This is Sirach 2 and 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation."
Point blank. Period. You know what you as apostle elders on down always say. You got to know what you signed up for in this truth. This is not an easy walk. This is as the elder brother Yakana always says, this is the real dirtiest job out here. everything we do is completely contrary to this society, and we're going to become public enemy number one for it. Hey, some brothers are going to have to face being put to death for it. You got to take that in your spirit and really meditate upon it. You got to gird up your loins like a man. And again, whatever your lot may be, realize that as long as you stay firm to the Most High, hey, that way will be made for you, and you're ultimately going to receive that crown. Keep going on.
Verse 2 says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Hey, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. When the chips are down, so to speak, when you got a situation coming your way, and you start getting flustered and angry, and you want to lean under your own understanding, don't make haste, but lean unto the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. Keep going on.
It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Hey, take a step back and take that spiritual breath and cleave unto the Most High. And as I said, that you may be increased at your last end. You're receiving that crown. You're receiving salvation, being the first fruits, the elect in the kingdom of heaven, which, when everything's said and done, and Abaratazah, the brothers and myself on this video, and you sincere Akim and Akwat out there listening are a part of that number, all this stuff we went through now is going to seem like a drop in the bucket compared to eternity. Eternity of peace and righteousness and smooth sailing.
And it's funny, I found this, I had it in my phone. I know I had it, so I went and found this one I had about my man again, Bruce Lee. And he said this, which he's right about everything he's saying, even the power of words, and which we know that from we know about words from the book of Sirach, the preludes of Sirach. But this what Bruce Lee said. He said, do not speak negative about yourself, even as, and I'm saying that to say about the brothers that got low self-esteem and don't believe in themselves, all right? It says, do not speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body does not know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. It says, change the way you speak about yourself, and you can change your life. And this is the heaviest part he said. What you are not changing, you are also choosing.
Point blank period. What you're not changing is what you're choosing. You're leaning upon that weak nature. You're getting comfortable. You're settled in whatever it is that's holding you back. You just sat in that lot and have not given up. And you've given up. You're not choosing to change things and keep going forward. And just to back up what you were saying, when you Akim, we're speaking to the Akim first and foremost. Hey, and you few sincere sisters, but mainly to the Akim. When you wake up in the morning and you wake up and you still have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in your mind, you still know the names of the Most High, you should be able to look in the mirror and be like, look, I'm not only am I an Israelite, but I've got a chance to be the elect, the rulers of the world to come. What do I got to feel fucking negative about? What do I got to feel bad about? Of course, we go through our trials, but look, at the end of the day, what do you got to feel low about? These people out here don't have it. These people out here are going to get destroyed, and we can see that they're constantly waxing worse and worse each day. With these little trials and tribulations that are coming, like the financial crisis, the lockdowns back in 2020 and 2021, we really saw how weak these people are. All this bluster and this image they like to show up on social media in their life is just a smokescreen for weak, feeble, and vain people.
Yeah, it say, if thou faint in a day of adversity, thy strength is small, which adversity is an opportunity. It's pretty much an opportunity for you to build faith or show the Lord you have faith, man. Like Jake don't look at and an opportunity is only an opportunity if you can take advantage of it. So when the Lord do give you adversity, he want to see how you build your faith. Same with confidence. If you lack confidence, there's going to be a moment in where the Lord wants you to have to deal head on with your confidence, which confidence is with faith. That's how you show the Lord you have faith, to be confident, man. You know, this is just not just a word that the Lord threw out there like, nah. Adversity is an opportunity for us to build faith. And if you show small faith in a face adversity, then your strength small. And you're going to have strength to serve the Lord, because you're going to have to have that intestinal fortitude to gird your loins up. That's why the Lord told damn near every prophet in every book you read to at least gird themselves up for something they was doing that they didn't have faith or confidence in, man. You got it, bro.
Gird up your loins like a man. Hey, this is the whole duty of man, to follow after the ways of the Most High. And as it's about to get into in this Sirach too, hey, everybody that leaned on the Most High, they were never forsaken by the Most High. But you can keep going in that Sirach, Kushah, Baba Kushah.
This verse 4 is it said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
And that's a strong spirit to have. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, take it like a man, and rejoice when thou art brought to a lower state. Because the scriptures talk about how on this side, hey, we're gonna be the lowest of the low. We're gonna go through stuff, and we're gonna be looked at as public enemy number one. What would the Most High say? If you were of the world would love you. And we know that this world is going away, and what? Those that were the multitude that was created in vain to be destroyed, but the world to come is for few. So I'd rather be the one of those few that is at enmity with this world, to be at peace in the world to come, to be the first fruits in the world to come. Whatever comes my way, I pray that I have the strength, and the Akim on this video, and you sincere Akim and Aqua out there as well, have the strength to endure it, so we can all make it to the end. All get beamed up on those chariots. Keep going on.
This verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. What a true high value man. And we know fire is that purifying agent. And we want to be that gold and that silver, have those works that get purified in the fire and have the Most High's reflection in them afterwards. We don't want to be those works of wood and stubble and hay that just get burnt up in the fire. And as it says in Sirach Zechariah 13, that 1/3 that's going to go through the fire, like gold is tried and refined in the fire and make it through, while that 2/3 is going to be cut off in that fire. Keep going on.
Said, believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Keep going.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
Hey, believe in him, and he will help thee, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Not leaning under your own understanding, not getting hasty in your trials and afflictions that come your way. But look, again, I've been saying it throughout the video, just take a step back and a deep breath and look at things with a spiritual eye and think about the bigger picture of things. Why is the Most High having me go through this? Let me not get emotional. Let me not be like that bull that sees red, but let me just, lean on the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High and walk that path accordingly. Keep going on.
This verse 8. It says, ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail.
Hey, again, not worrying about the things that can go wrong, but worrying about the things that can go right. That reward, that kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, being the first fruits by doing what? Simply relying on Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in every aspect of our life. And hey, it's much easier said than done. And as brothers always say, hey, I'm saying it, so I'm applying it first and foremost to myself. Because as I say these things, best believe there are going to be trials that are going to come up to where, you're saying this? So, hey, the Most High is going to try me for it. And I have the strength to push forward and pass those trials of adversity. Keep going on.
This verse 9, it says, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and everlasting joy and mercy."
Read verse 10.
Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
A point
Question
blank
mark.
period. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? When our forefathers all throughout the scriptures, it was Moses, Noah, and one of my favorite accounts, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were put in situations to where they had nothing but Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai to lean on. And what? They didn't get carnal. They didn't have a mortal moment, but they leaned in the spirit of the Most High and were able to get through those situations. They weren't confounded or forsaken by the Most High. And it's going to be no different with us as long as we endure. We just, whatever comes our way during Jacob's trouble, as long as we lean on the Most High, hey, we'll fare never the worse, but we'll ultimately, Abarat Dazawar, that number, hey, endure, receive salvation, get that crown, and be the first fruits of the elect, and be the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven, that elect number. But did any brothers have any closing points?
Nah, I'm cool.
Okay. Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwat out there were edified by this Shabbat lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word and truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.